Please describe your job title and primary duties.
I was just a basic sales associate. If I wasn't cleaning up, I was also trying to sell cell phones. That was a big thing. That was actually the biggest thing because we would get emails either praising us or reaming us about our horrible or awesome cell phone sales for the week or the day even. You also needed to help other people. You need to help people with electronics, computer parts and cords and speakers. And we even had this parts drawer that's about 5 feet long and 6 feet high, full of little tiny parts. Capacitors and fuses and all that stuff people needed. And you needed to know a little bit about that. Wasn't the most popular section, but after you work there for a month, even if you're not too hot on the stuff in there, you end up picking it all up.
What was your favorite part about working there?
Commission. The commission was pretty sweet because you got commission every time you made a cell phone contract. You got a commission if you got warranties on anything sold in that store that had one. You got a commission off of that. You got commission off accessories that you got sold on cell phones. So you could work 60 hours in 2 weeks and sell 6 cell phones and get accessories on all of them and get like an extra $100+ on your check. It was pretty cool.
Please describe a typical day as an employee.
If you weren't cleaning up, you were putting stuff away because shipments were oddly frequent there. And the biggest thing is you always had to ask people about cell phones. That was the biggest thing. They drilled that in your head. Ask everybody about a cell phone. They come in the door, tell them about your offers. When they're leaving, the receipt, one of the biggest catch things was, and it actually worked a lot better than I expected it to, is, so what kind of cell phone you got there? Because you could sometimes see people on their straps or they had it in their hand. It's like, it looks, I've seen that phone before. It's a little older. You might be ready for an upgrade if you want us to check. That was the biggest catcher. It's like, we can get you a free phone. Let us check for an upgrade. And you usually went from there.
How would you describe the application and interview process?
Standard, go in, get the application, write down availability, or it did also, if I remember correctly, it did ask a small section about knowledge as far as electronics were concerned. I know they asked that in the actual interview at least. And then references, education, and yeah.
What questions did the interviewer ask during the job interview?
They asked what you knew about computers. They asked what you knew about cell phones. One of the things that I remember particularly from the manager that hired me was he asked me to take out my cell phone and sell it to him. Like, tell me about your cell phone and why I'd want this. And you had to list off, like, it was your cell phone, so hopefully you knew your stuff about it. Like, well, it's got X amount of megapixel on this camera, and it's got, really fast, loading speeds as far as the apps were concerned. Or it's an Android phone, which means its app market's a lot bigger than, well, actually, I don't think the Android marketplace is bigger than the iPhone marketplace. I can't remember, to be honest. It's been a little while. But they wanted your cell phone knowledge, they wanted your computer knowledge, your electronic parts knowledge, and people skills.
What other advice would you give to a job seeker looking to get employment?
When you go in there, they're more professional than you'd see them. So when you go in there, when you ask your application, ask your manager. Make sure you're kept up. You maybe got some nicer clothes on that day. And when you go in for your interview, make sure you don't just throw on some blue jeans. They actually like the whole shirt, button-up shirt, tie, and nice pants deal when you do that. And, know your stuff, because they won't hire you if you don't answer the questions about the electronics that they have, or if you can't sell your own cell phone.